Aabria Iyengar has called out some people and what they think about her character Thaisha Lloy. Now, first things first, I want to say, I am not a Thaisha hater. I am not an Aabria hater. If that is what you are, this video is not for you, probably because I'm not about to rip into Aabria. What I am going to do is talk about what her complaints were, if that's how I can phrase that, and why I think some of the things people are saying are warranted. Now, I'm talking about with her character, not her play style. Again, this is not a ripping Aabria video. So what is it I'm talking about? Well, in a recent post to her Tumblr, she addressed somebody else's post. A user by the name of Fresh Prince of Hilaire basically talked about that she may have some sort of need to fix the world or desire to fix the world, and the damage done in part because she's fallen in love with the world through the love of her life's work, and in part because of the damage her people and her family very specifically did to the world in freeing themselves from tyranny. She calls out that last part. She marks it off and is like, no, 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 no. There is not an iota of guilt for this, from freeing her and her people from the oppression of the gods. So that's the first part. I got no issues with that. I never felt like she had some sort of guilt or something about it. So that's something other people picked up on that I didn't. I don't know if that's, I haven't even seen it around a lot. So I don't know if that theory's been out there and a lot of people have felt that way. It's not something I felt. One of her hashtags though, I read it, was like, wait, huh? And you'll see that at the bottom there. It says, oh, and every time I see a post leaning in on Thaisha mothering Octus or Julian, I want to scream. Stop turning Thaisha into a mammy stereotype. This is one where I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like, your character is a mother. She's had multiple motherly moments so far in the 4 episodes, multiple. She has made comments above table, maybe even some in-game, about being motherly towards Octus, or Octus needing a mother figure, and that's one of the reasons she's there. We have seen her go head over toe trying to get to Octus, to save Octus, who is this sort of fragile young man. He's 20, but you get where I'm going with it. She has done so many motherly things. And even if you throw out the things she has said at the table about being like motherly to Octus and stuff, that's how she described her character in one of the Critical Role videos.
I was like, Taisha's gonna be so chill and so lovely, and everyone's gonna think she's like a really like hippie granola mom.
So all of that combined, I can understand if she's like, look, stop leaning into it. Stop making it all she is. I totally get that. Wanting to be like, I am more than a mother. I know that is something that a lot of people feel strongly about, and that's totally fine. Of course it is. But if you've been presented or presented yourself through media, marketing, and in the first 4 episodes as being a mother multiple times, as being motherly to Octus several times, you can't really like get upset with people for being like, oh, she's very motherly. That just seems like that shoe fits. And maybe as we go, we'll learn more and we'll see that she's so much more. I'm sure she will be. But right now, I don't like, people should probably feel that way because it's what we've been given. I felt that she was very motherly. To the Julian part. Now, maybe she saw my video talking about this. I wasn't trying to insist or don't believe that she is like a mother to Julian. Not any stretch of the imagination. They don't really like each other. I felt that there was a motherly instinct towards the end of episode 4 when he was having his outrage towards Octus, especially that last moment she goes in for a hug. And I interpreted that, right? It's just an interpretation of the media presented to me as that motherly instinct kicking in and being like, Julian is hurt. Julian is raw. Julian is lashing out. And she, as a mother, knows, okay, come on. You know, she's leaning in for that sort of hug, that sort of, I know, let it out sort of thing. That's how I interpreted it, right? I'm not saying that she's Julian's mom or anything like that. Maybe other people were, I don't know. But given the context of everything else we knew, she has kids, she's talked about Octus needing a mother, all these sorts of motherly aspects to her, the media we were presented in marketing about motherly, and then she goes in for that hug, it kind of makes sense that people would connect those dots, right? That one, sure, you can kind of push away, but the Octus stuff and all the other motherly stuff, that's what we've been given. So again, I have no issues with Aabria or her character. I think they're both very good. I love the passion that she brings to the table, the intensity. She's always engaged with what everybody else is doing and watching and all that sort of stuff. I love it. This is not me hating Aabria at all. It was just reading this and feeling like, you can't really get upset if you've presented yourself as a mother, then people are like, oh, she's very motherly. You know, again, I don't want her to be put in that box, just like she doesn't seem to want to be put in that box, but it feels like you can't really be upset with people right now because that's all they've really seen. But I don't know. What do you think? Again, don't start ripping her in the comments. That's not what I want. That's not what this is, but share your thoughts on in the comments. I'm very curious. And if you want more Critical Role, nerd culture, Dungeons and Dragons, and more content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below to help me with the algorithm. Thank you all so much. And until next time, good luck in your adventures.